Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus took Peter, John, and James and went up the mountain to pray. And while he was praying, his face changed in appearance, and his clothing became dazzling white. And behold, two men were conversing with him, Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and spoke of his exodus that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem. Peter and his companions had been overcome by sleep, but becoming fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. As they were about to part from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." But he did not know what he was saying. And while he was speaking, a cloud came and cast a shadow over them, and they became frightened when they entered the cloud. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my chosen Son. Listen to him." After the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone. They fell silent and did not at that time tell anyone what they had seen. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus.
I'd like to invite all our boys and girls to come up as we gear the homily to them today. So kids, come up. Have a seat right on the floor in front of me. Safe home. Good stuff. Well, good morning and welcome. Thank you for coming up today. We just heard a very amazing story in the Gospel, didn't we? Something really fabulous happened to Jesus there on the mountain in front of Peter, James, and John, his disciples. What exactly happened to Jesus? Can anybody tell me? Hello, Earth to children. Hello. What happened to Jesus there on the mountainside? Did he change? What happened? He turned dazzling white. His clothes became very dazzling white. And what about his face? Did his face change as well? Very bright, glowing face, right? So he was transformed right there in front of their eyes. And he had 2 guys on either side of them. Do you remember the names of those guys? What was it? Elijah's one. Who was the other guy? Peter? No, he was down below them. Who's the other guy? Begins with an M. Don't say Mary. Who is it? Moses. Thank you very much. So we got Moses and Elijah on either side of them, okay? And so there was something very special happening there, okay? Now, why do you think Jesus changed in front of Peter, James, and John like that? Was Jesus showing off? Hey, look at me, I'm dazzling white. Woohoo! Why was he changing, you think? What was he trying to show Peter, James, and John? That he was real? So, yeah. And he was really what? Who is Jesus? God. There you go. Excellent answers. Wonderful. So basically, he changed in front of them to kind of tell them what they've been kind of thinking all along, but now this was proof positive that Jesus is God. And you know, it's kind of a scary thing because it's not every day that somebody that you know very well, like a good friend, suddenly changes all aglow in dazzling white clothes there, right? So you heard about Peter, James, and John kind of going down like this a little bit because they were afraid, especially when the cloud came down and all of a sudden you hear a booming voice saying, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." Wouldn't that make you knock your knees and shake with fright a little bit there? Sure, yeah. All right, so obviously Jesus is all lighted up there and everything, but we also know that other things provide light for us as well. What are some examples of things that give us light? like around the house or around where we walk and stuff like that. What's one example that gives us light?
Candle.
A candle. Thank you very much. Exhibit A, Exhibit B for the defense, right? What's another thing that gives us light? Fire. That's right. And that's exactly what the candle's doing there. Okay, what's another thing? The sun. We'd like to have more of that today. That'd be great. Especially yesterday. It felt nice and warm, didn't it? It was in the 50s. That's right. Thank you for that meteorological update. Okay, so what else gives us light? I'll give you a hint. Look up. What? Light bulbs and lamps, right? Good. What else gives us light? What? Street lights. That's right. A lot of those. So we can see more where we're going. Anything else give us light? Lanterns? Very good. Okay, I got one more for you. What's another one? Go ahead.
Jesus.
Well, yes, we got Jesus firmly established as the light there, but I'm talking about just everyday things you would see. Okay? You're in the spotlight, buddy. Thank you for that answer. That's very good. This is very important. How many of you have a flashlight at home? Raise your hand. You know, it comes out very handy, especially like when the power goes out. Any of you been around your house when the power went out at night? Boy, is it hard to look around and get somewhere, right? Get from room to room. So these things really come in handy. How many of you have candles at home? Some people have candles, especially when the power goes out. That really helps. You know, so obviously we need light so we don't get hurt walking through the dark. Any of you walk through the dark and stub your toe, like on the bed or on a table before? Ouch, I hate when that happens. You hit your head on your bed. Okay, were you crawling or something like that? Is that why? Okay. Okay, so obviously we need light to know where we're going, right? And so we know that Jesus is the light to teach us where to go in life and what we need to do. And so we are actually heading through what we call the dark days of Lent towards the light of Easter, because Jesus died and rose from the dead so that he can show us that he is the one that we need to trust in and follow, because he is the light of the world, right? But you know what else? You, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and all of us are lights too, aren't we? Because we have the Holy Spirit from Jesus within us, and that light wants to come out. And so what are some examples of ways that we can be a light of God's love to other people? Can you give me an example? Because if we think of sin as darkness, you know, darkness is things like being mean, being angry, being hateful, all those nasty things, being bad, being selfish. Those are all dark things, right? So what are some light things, some loving things that we can do to shine Jesus' light to others? What's one? Helping others. What's another?
Telling the truth.
Telling the truth. Are you a good truth teller? Okay. Are you telling me the truth in that? Okay, that's good. What's another? Say that now. Giving hugs. You give good hugs? Show me. Get up and show me a hug. Spotlight now. No pressure. Show me what it's like to get a hug. Thank you very much. You get good hugs. Wonderful. Thank you very much. What's another example? Following the Ten Commandments. Can you name one? Okay, well, we generalize pretty well on that one. How about thou shalt not fill in the blank? No, I don't mean thou shalt not fill in the blank. That's not one of them. I mean you fill in the blank. Thou shalt not what?
Sin.
No, and thou shalt not sin. That's kind of the general term for it. Thou shalt not. Okay, what do you call taking something that doesn't belong to you? Stealing. Thou shalt not steal. Right? What's another example? Thou shalt not. Kill! Thank you very much. You must be good at charades. That's wonderful. Good. So, and what's another one about something about your parents there? What's the commandment about your parents there? Can you tell me? Yeah.
Well, it doesn't exactly say that, but it says, honor your father and mother. That's right, and obeying is an important part of that, isn't it? Okay? So those are all great examples of how you can be more of the light of Jesus to others, just like Jesus was showing that he is the light of the world on that mountainside. Okay? So go out and be good lights to everybody you meet. Okay? Now I would like to ask you a favor. I'd like you to stand up because I have something to give you so that you can think more about how to be a light in the world. How many of you guys like puzzles? Oh, goody. You're going to love this. I have 2 puzzles for you. Anybody here do a maze before? Whoa, you like that, huh? Okay. We have what's called a transfiguration maze, and transfiguration is just that fancy word meaning Jesus changed in a very exciting way on that mountainside, all right? So what you have to do is you have to let this little guy, he looks very confused, he's like, huh? He's standing here, and you have to help him find Jesus, Moses, and Elijah way up in the corner there, okay? And then on the other side is a word search puzzle that has to do with that same gospel scene that we just heard about. Who wants to help me pass these out? Okay. You and you. Come forward. Thank you very much. And once you get one, I'd like you to walk back slowly to your families. And I want to thank you all very much for coming up. So see my 2 helpers for these sheets. Here's one. Oh, you want to use the one? Go ahead. Got an extra there? They're sticking together, aren't they? A little tricky. There you go. Here's one more for you. Thank you all very much. Jesus said that we are lights of the world as well, so we stand